to. Today, a couple of rivals doing battle in the NFC North. It's the Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers. We welcome you, Mike Tirico, Greg Olson, and that's Cairo Santos to get us started. And off we go from legendary Lambeau. And he's down at the 23, and that's where the offense will take over. So the Packers come out, and they are led by Jordan Love, who followed Aaron Rodgers after playing apprentice for a couple of seasons. And now for Love, it is his third season as the Green Bay starter.
You know, Mike, it's kind of become cliche. You know, these guys come onto the field and we say, hey, you got to defend every blade of grass. They can make every throw, but that's exactly the case anytime this guy's lined up behind center. And the amount of stress that it puts on your pass defense, on your secondary to know, I got to defend sideline to sideline, line of scrimmage to the end zone, no matter where that ball is snapped. That's a tall task, and they're going to have to mix up coverages and be really sound on the back end, or this guy can really kill you.
A huge play right off the bat. 32 yards. On 1st and 10, here's Love. And they'll take this down inside the 35. Now it looks like we have an injured Packer player on the field. Not something you want to see in the opening minute of the game. Set to go now on 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, it's Love. He's hit after the catch, and the ball comes free. One of those exciting moments in a football game. There is a turnover and a fumble. All of a sudden, the guys who were on defense, they're starting to think like offensive players, Greg. They really wanted to take that back the other way.
And I think for that offense, they're fortunate that didn't lead to a touchdown, because for a minute, I thought the defender was going to take it all the way back. But either way, winds up with a pretty nice return, and his offense is in great position.
So here come the Bears and their quarterback for the second straight year. Number 1 pick in the 2024 draft, it's Caleb Williams.
So although his rookie season didn't go exactly according to plan, the best thing that happened, Mike, was he started all 17 games. And I know there were some ups and some downs. He's got a new regime now, new stability, new head coach. And I think it's going to allow all of his physical talent we saw coming out of college that made Caleb Williams the number 1 overall pick. I think it's going to let it shine, because there is no question. When this guy is in the right system with the right play calling, he is as talented and as productive as any quarterback we've seen come out of the draft in the last couple of years.
A gain there of 16 yards. Good for a Bears first down.
Really nice explosive play there on the ground. And tell you what, for these fans sitting in the stadium, they're not used to seeing their home team pushed around. So continue to be physical at the line of scrimmage, mix in the runs with the pass, and if they can continue to generate these big explosive runs, I don't think they need to go away from it.
Now, after that last play, we have an injured Bear on the field. And as the medical staff looks him over, we'll step aside. From the 31, here is 2nd and 8. Out the shotgun. It's a give to Swift. Good blocking to the 15. He is tough to bring down. A big one there on the ground. Now it looks like we have an injured Packer player on the field. So as they look at the injured player, we'll take a timeout. They can still get a first down at the 1. First and 10, they go from the 11. They'll go play action here with Williams. And that's over everybody out of the back of the end zone. It is incomplete. Now after that last play, we have an injured Bear on the field. As the athletic training staff looks at him, we'll step away for a moment. On second down, it's a run with Swift. What a move! He's in! DeAndre Swift. Touchdown, Chicago.
You just don't see these kind of holes too often at this NFL level, Mike. And you can see once he got the ball, the clear line to the end zone, he doesn't get touched. And an unfortunate defensive breakdown here ends up costing him 6 points.
Cairo Santos
lining up
to add the point after. It's up and good. And the Bears will take a 7-0 lead. Now after that last play, we have an injured Bear on the field. The training staff going to look, and we'll step out for a moment. So here's Santos after the touchdown. He's out to kick this one off. This will be returned from the 6. He'll get this past the 20 before he's brought down shy of the 25-yard line. Now it looks like we have an injured Packer player on the field. Athletic training staff looking at him, so we'll step aside. So here's a 1st and 10 now. They'll start from the 24. Off the play fake. Here's Love. Oh, a lot of chances on that one. It was bouncing around, but it falls incomplete. He was trying to connect with Matthew Golden that time. And it'll be 2nd down. From the gun, it's Love. He'll be hit as he throws this time, and it's going to fall incomplete. And he might be fortunate just to avoid the sack, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
They got there in a hurry, didn't they, Mike? I mean, luckily for him, he saw that free rusher coming, and at the very least was able to get that ball out to prevent the sack.
From the gun, on 3rd down, it's Love. And that is incomplete. Now it looks like we have an injured Packer player on the field. And as the medical staff looks him over, we'll step aside. On fourth down, the Packers turn it over to Daniel Whelan to punt. Devin Duvernay back deep for Chicago. And no return forthcoming. It's a touchback and will come out to the 20-yard line. The Bears offense ready to see what they can do on their second possession. They lead 7-0 thanks to the touchdown on the opening drive. So try to double up here as they begin this drive 1st and 10. Operating from the shotgun, it's Williams. And he'll just get rid of this. Smart play to throw it away. And that'll set up 2nd down.
They just have to be more creative with their route concepts, Mike. I mean, there's nobody open, nowhere to go with the ball, and quarterback's just forced to throw that one away.
We'll try again. It's 2nd and 10. Working out of the gun. Here's Williams. To the sideline. That is caught, but he's out of bounds. They tried to get him into space, coming out of the backfield, but instead it's incomplete. 3rd down.
Well, it's going to go down as an incompletion, but it wasn't from a lack of effort. I mean, he did everything in his power to try to get both feet in bounds. The pass just took him a little bit too close to the sideline, and he just wasn't able to save the play.
He's got the hook up there to Odunze. Now, after that last play, we have an injured Bear on the field. So as they look at the injured player, we'll take a timeout. So it'll be 1st and 10. They'll scrimmage at the 33. Williams to the air once more. And he lost the football. And fortunately, their center able to rein it in, and they'll retain possession.
And they should consider themselves lucky. You can't let a pass rusher through that quickly and not expect there to be consequences. Fortunately, they're at least able to fall on it and prevent this from being a complete disaster.
Moore going in motion. Williams to throw on 2nd down. On throw here, right side, falls incomplete. Luther Burden, the intended target. 3rd down coming up.
So I actually really like the concept of the pass play, and I think if we see a little bit better pass protection, even just a second longer, that's probably a completed pass, but I think the pressure just sped his clock up just enough, Mike, that he wasn't able to get that ball exactly where it needed to be.
And this ball incomplete on 3rd down. Now, after that last play, we have an injured Bear on the field. As the athletic training staff looks at him, we'll step away for a moment. On 4th down, the Bears send out their 2nd-year man, Torrey Taylor, to punt. Out comes the Green Bay offense now as they get set to take over again. This group slow to get things in gear in this one. Lost fumble on the opening drive, followed by a punt last time they had it. It's a 3 tight end look as they have it 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Jacobs. Oh, a loose football. The Bears have it.
And with all this talk about ball security, I can tell you firsthand, like, a lot of it just becomes mental. It's like the more you think about it, the the more you stress it in practice, it almost gets worse. It's one of those things that when it starts to spiral, it's just hard to pull yourself out.
So out comes the Chicago offense as they get set to take over once more. They'll start with the football already in the red zone. Big opportunity here on 1st and 10. On the give, here's Swift. And the Bears are going to have 1st and goal coming up. He takes this down to about the 5.
A gain of 12 yards. And the Bears 1st down.
And these are the explosive runs that open everything up. There's all this conversation about the value of the run game, but when you take a look at the best running teams, Mike, it's not necessarily how many yards they run for, it's how many big plays do they generate on the ground. And when you can generate big plays on the ground, it makes everything so much more difficult for the defense.
He was looking to get it to DJ Moore. And it'll lead to a 2nd and goal. On the bootleg, it's Williams. Over him in a flash, and he lost the football. And the Packers have recovered the football. And now, following the turnover, we have an injured player on the field. The training staff going to look, and will step out for a moment. This drive starts at the 21. It's 1st and 10. To throw is low. That is incomplete. No way to force the football in there. Good coverage. It'll bring up 2nd down.
At the 21.
And they got the look they were hoping for, one-on-one on the outside. He's just unable to hold on to it through contact, and I think that was a big opportunity missed.
They'll try again here. 2nd and 10. One of the tight ends in motion right. They'll run with Jacobs. And not much there. He's back to the original line. No gain on that one. Now it looks like we have an injured Packer player on the field. Athletic training staff looking at him, so we'll step aside. Third down and 9. Here's Love. And that is incomplete.
It's just so hard to be a good offense in the NFL, Mike, when you are not good on 3rd down. Your inability to extend drives, it either puts a lot of pressure on your coaches to be aggressive on 4th down, or simply punt or kick a field goal. You have to maintain possession and give you more cracks to score touchdowns.
Too much leg there. That one's into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own
the Bears offense starting to trot out for this next possession. They lead it here early 7-0 as they start with a 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Williams. That one down the field, but they cannot connect, and it's incomplete.
His offense is doing everything they can to quiet this crowd, and Even though they missed on that long attempt, at least it sets the tone that they're going to continue to attack. If they can come up with a completion on one of those downfield passes, it's going to go a long way to settling themselves into this game.
Give up the middle with Swift. And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And that's it.
On the tackle.
Great job here by this linebacker, Mike. There was no reading and reacting. From the snap, he was attacking. Meets the ball carrier right at the line of scrimmage. No gain.
It is 3rd and 10. Throwing is Williams. That one too far out in front. It is incomplete. Now, after that last play, we have an injured Bear on the field. And as the medical staff looks him over, we'll step aside. Here's Torrey Taylor now. He's on to punt for the 2nd time in this opening quarter. And he couldn't get that one to check up. It'll keep bouncing into the end zone. It's a touchback.
Their own 20-yard line.
The Packers offense ready to see what they can do with this next possession. They'll start out 1st down and 10. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And he'll get this past the 25, out to the 27. A pickup of 7. Now it looks like we have an injured Packer player on the field. So as they look at the injured player, we'll take a timeout. Ball on the 27. Here's 2nd down and 3. They'll run with Emmanuel Wilson. This defense all over this one. They get him down behind the line. It's a loss of a couple. Now it looks like we have an injured Packer player on the field. As the athletic training staff looks at him, we'll step away for a moment. Third down, they need 5. Back to throw is Love. Going for it all. That is not the way downfield. Incomplete. He made sure not to let the receiver get behind him. Third down stop sets up 4th down.
And this offense just cannot get anything going right now on 3rd down. If you ask any offensive play caller throughout the entire league, Mike, the importance of 3rd down, maintaining possession, making the defense stay on the field, and have long extended drives, it is critical to not only scoring points, but ultimately winning in the NFL.
The Bears offense make their way out to take over once more. They lead by a touchdown as this drive begins with 1st and 10. Play action, he'll set up to throw. That one incomplete. The defender right there to make the play. And it's 2nd down.
And that's exactly what every defense is trying to do in the passing game. They want to muddy up these windows, Mike. Make every throw as contested as possible. No separation, contact right at the catch point, and Does a great job forcing the incomplete pass.
Now, faking the give. Escaping to his left. Now, flag comes in. It was thrown by the umpire. The pickup is 4, but usually that's a holding penalty.
Still second down.
Back to throw. Agent. Oh, and this one's going to wind up incomplete. That's one you'd think he'd be able to corral. He can't find the handle, and it's going to lead to a third down.
Third down and 20.
Even though it doesn't result in a sack, when you dial up the right pressure at the right time, Mike, sometimes that's all it takes to lead to that incompletion. The timing is just a little off between the quarterback and his intended target, and the ball falls incomplete.
Throwing now on 3rd and long. And that's going to be incomplete, but a flag down in the backfield. That's the area we usually see holding. The Bears send out their punt team
for the Bears,
as he'll have to hit it from his own end zone. He'll return it from the 11. A nice return there. The offense not going to be backed up as much as they could have. Drive's going to start from beyond the 20. The Packers offense ready to come back out for this next possession. They'll do so with 1st and 10. Slot man going to move in motion left. And he's taken down, but not until he gets to the 32-yard line. Now it looks like we have an injured Packer player on the field. The training staff going to look, and will step out for a moment. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Love to throw. Here's a screen now for Lloyd. They'll get about 4 here as he is taken down.
Just a little slow developing on that screenplay there. It was pretty obvious to the entire defense exactly what was going on. Nobody was thinking pass. Nobody was getting back into their drops, and just nowhere for that back to go.
They'll work from the 36 on 2nd and 6. Love. That is to Wiley, open on the left. And he's going to be run out after a gain of about 6, but that'll be good enough for a 1st down.
Well, we'll give a little credit here defensively. Even though they allow the 1st down, we've seen defenses really struggle bringing this big tight end to the ground, and they didn't allow him to pick up a bunch of yards after contact, but he was able to get just enough to pick up the 1st down.
On the ground, here's the first carry for Marshawn Lloyd. And he'll get nothing here. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all.
No gain on the play.
What makes great linebackers stand out from the pack is their instincts and their vision. In this case, the linebacker has his keys, brings him right where the ball is going, and he's able to make a play at the point of attack and keep this to a no gain.
Throwing on 2nd down, Love. And he's out of bounds inside the 45-yard line. Call it a gain of 13. Good for a Green Bay 1st down.
I always think you can tell pretty quickly how comfortable a quarterback is in their offense, Mike, by how fast they work through their progression and get the ball to their check down underneath. And in this case, with the depth of the defense.
Ball's out. And they're going to bring him down, but there is a penalty marker on the field.
Still first down.
Here's Love to throw. Quickly, they get it into the hands of Williams. And he will not get away. Terrific open field tackle. Gets him down behind the line.
43-yard line.
Work to do now as they come up on 2nd and long. That is Musgrave, the man in motion. Second down throw for Love. To the tight end, Musgrave. He's got it. He'll be brought down. It was a nice pickup, but a penalty flag on the play. Early indications of a hold.
Still second down.
On play action, Love. That one's incomplete. Good coverage there. Made it uncomfortable for the receiver. Couldn't hang with it, and it brings up 3rd down. Now, after that last play, we have an injured Bear on the field. Athletic training staff looking at him, so we'll step aside. What can they do here? This is 3rd and forever. Out of the shotgun, it's Love. This one just too far for the receiver. Out in front of him. That one falls incomplete. Trying to connect with Romeo Doubs that time. And that's going to lead to a 4th down.
And this passing game continues to come up short these last couple plays. That's 2 consecutive incompletions in a row. Now they're staring 4th down right in the face.
The Bears take over first
the Bears
and 10.
offense getting their final instructions before heading back onto the field. They'll begin with 1st and 10. Here's Bages. Oh, a short throw there, but it's going to end up incomplete. It's a pass he say he should have had.
Incomplete.
Instead, he does not, and it brings up 2nd
and 10
down.
at the 20-yard line.
So the receiver does everything right, except for the most important part. He runs a nice route, great separation downfield, but now you just got to finish that thing off with a catch.
On the give, it's Swift. And he'll be stacked up at the line of scrimmage.
The big guys in the middle of the defense, Mike, the defensive tackles. So often they're asked to do the dirty work. Keep the blockers off the linebackers. Let them run around and make all the plays. But in this case, this guy's able to shed his blocker, make the stop, and keep it to no gain.
On 3rd down, they'll set up to throw. Now, he'll air one out. And that'll be in and out of his hands. It's incomplete. Now, after that last play, we have an injured Bear on the field. And as the medical staff looks him over, we'll step aside. Here's the punter now.
In punt formation,
as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today.
The Packers take over
offense
first
getting
and
things
10
in order as they trot out for this next possession. They'll see if they can put something together here, beginning with 1st and 10. He'll start this on the ground with Ward. And he'll work ahead for about 5 to the 25.
Tackled at the 25-yard line. It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
Second and 5. To throw is Love. And he let him a bit too much. That pass is incomplete. Trying to get back to his running back, Marshawn Lloyd.
Brings up 3rd
now it's going to be 3rd down.
Well, it's pretty clear the main reason why they find themselves trailing in this game, Mike, has really just been the inefficiency of this offense and primarily out of the quarterback position. I mean, to complete less than half of your pass attempts, it just makes it very hard to compete at a high level consistently in the NFL. And they want to find themselves having any chance of getting back into this game and winning this one. He's going to have to get a lot better with the ball. I'd say one of the most critical elements of a dynamic offense, Mike, is how efficient are you on 3rd down. It's something these teams stress all week. Here's an opportunity to continue to extend this drive. The defense wins this time and brings up 4th down.
The Bears take over.
The Bears offense ready to see what they can do. They try to establish some tempo as they start this one with 1st and 10. Motion man is the tight end going right. They'll start on the ground with Swift. And he'll work ahead for about 5 to the 25. Now after that last play, we have an injured Bear on the field. So as they look at the injured player, we'll take a timeout. So, from the 25, it's 2nd and 5. Off play action. He'll set up to throw. Quick throw, taken in. Oh, nice open field tackle there. He could not get free. They're going to stop him for no gain.
A bit of a quick hitter here. And what you're hoping for, Mike, is that the defense can't react quickly enough because the ball's coming out so hot. But they knew it was coming, and they end up holding him to just a short gain.
They'll throw here on 3rd and short. Here's a ball thrown deep right sideline.
Bajan's pass.
I think he predetermined that 3rd down throw, and even though the coverage was tight, he still tried to fit the ball in there anyway, and it ended up falling incomplete. I think if he goes through his progressions and has a little bit more trust in his protection, I think there's an easier throw to make out there.
The Packers
offense getting set to get back to work. They'll start it here with a 1st and 10. We'll go play action with Love. There's a short one on Tight Ends. And that keeps him ahead of schedule. That's a first down completion of 7 yards.
It's a gain of 7.
There's no
Brings
more
up second
efficient
and
play
3
in the NFL,
at
Mike,
the
than the play-action
27-yard line.
passing game. And you can see here why. You make the defense have to honor both the run and the pass, and he's able to pick up a nice gain to his tight end.
Love going to give it to Lloyd. And that'll give him a first down. Tackle made after the pickup of 3.
A gain of 3
And the offensive
yards.
line does a really nice job winning this play at the point of attack. And once he got the ball, all he had to really do was just find the crease and hit it, and he's able to pick up the first down.
So, first and 10 now from the 30. Off the play fake. Here's Love. Oh, a short throw there, but it's going to end up incomplete. That's a pass he'd say he should have had. Instead, he does not, and it brings up second down.
30-yard line.
Christian Watson, the intended receiver. And it'll bring up second down. Handoff. It's Ward. And not much there. Good defense. Held to no gain. Now it looks like we have an injured Packer player on the field. As the athletic training staff looks at him, we'll step away for a moment. Third and 9. From the gun, it's Love. He'll take a shot downfield for Musgrave. That is incomplete. Great work to get in there, make things difficult defensively, and it sets up fourth down. Here's Daniel Whelan now as they are forced to kick for the 6th time today. Now after that last play, we have an injured Bear on the field. The training staff going to look, and we'll step out for a moment. They go 3 tight ends here on 1st and 10. This drive will begin with a run by Swift. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. Tyron Hopper there on the tackle. Now after that last play, we have an injured Bear on the field. Athletic training staff looking at him, so we'll step aside. From the 24 now, here is 2nd and 6. They're going to run. It's the man from Rutgers, Kyle Monunga. And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. Nothing more.
And after that negative run, I think this changes the play call now on 3rd down. So this offensive line has to be a lot better on 1st and 2nd down to gain positive yards. Stay on track, because you don't want to be in 3rd and pass too often in today's NFL.
That one on target to Moore. He's going to be taken down, but there's a late flag in the backfield that might give him 15 more yards.
Automatic first down.
Here we go. Here we go.
They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for 1st and 10. They put Smythe in motion. They're going to run it here with Monunga. And Not much there. He's back to the original line. No gain on that.
Behind the line of scrimmage.
When you can get this level of run support out of your secondary, Mike, man, what an advantage for any defense. This defensive back clearly reads run, gets off his block, and he's able to take down the back for a loss of yards.
Beaten. Reaching for it, the tight end couldn't bring it in. It's incomplete. Now it looks like we have an injured Packer player on the field. And as the medical staff looks him over, we'll step aside. Third and 11. To throw is Bajan. The pressure gets home. He's lost the football. It's picked up by one of his teammates.
After these kind of plays, Mike, you just wish the sideline was a mile away, because you know when you get there, you are going to catch an earful. They stress all week, ball carriers. We have to protect the ball. In this case, it doesn't result in a turnover, but the lost yardage now brings up fourth down. These are drive killers.
On comes with the punter now, as he's on to punt for Chicago.
The Packers take over.
Out comes the Green Bay offense now as they get set to take over again. The drive begins at the 20. Here's first and 10. The man in motion is Watson. This drive will begin with a run by Lord. And that'll be a pickup of 3.
The ball carrier. The tackle made at the 24-yard line. A gain of 4. It's now second and 6.
It is second and 6. To throw is Love. They'll look to set up the screen here. And he's out of bounds up beyond the 40-yard line. Screen works to perfection. Give him 18 yards and move the chains. First down.
How often do we see, Mike, the running back, they get a little too antsy and they go a little too fast on these screen plays. In this case, great job by the back. First, he let his offensive lineman go out. He then follows behind. That's the key to a good screen pass.
And they'll have it across midfield, down at the opposing 46-yard line. Now, after that last play, we have an injured Bear on the field. So as they look at the injured player, we'll take a timeout. Set to go now on first and 10. Here's Love. That's going to be incomplete. But now a marker comes flying in late behind the line of scrimmage. Might we get a roughing the passer call here?
Automatic first down.
Another run here with Ford. And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage.
He was taken down behind the line of scrimmage.
The key to great defensive line play is the get-off. When that ball moves, how fast can you get off the ball and get into the backfield? That's exactly what we saw here. Quick read, react, get off the block, take him down for a loss.
Check call.
On second down, Love. That's caught right side. It's the tight end Musgrave. And he's in. Luke Musgrave. Touchdown, Green Bay.
Just a beautiful ball there by the quarterback. And the point I want to make here, Mike, and make sure the viewer understands is, in the NFL, if you have to wait for a guy to be open and then deliver the ball, it's too late. So often these quarterbacks throw their guy open. They anticipate where the void in the coverage is going to be. That's exactly the reason this play worked out here, Mike, and he's able to connect here for a big touchdown.
Brandon McManus now to add the extra point.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
Now another shot here at the PAT. A little bit easier following the penalty, and the kick is good. Now it looks like we have an injured Packer player on the field. As the athletic training staff looks at him, we'll step away for a moment. We're all tied, 7 apiece, and the kicks away. A return now from the 4. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. So out comes the Chicago offense as they get set to take over once more. All even here in this opening quarter. And the drive will begin with first down. They'll run with Manunga. And they'll bring him down, but not until he gets to the 38-yard line. Now, after that last play, we have an injured Bear on the field. The training staff going to look, and will step out for a moment. So, first and 10 here now at the 38. Now, faking the give. The ball comes out. And no turnover here. One of the guards able to get the football and get on it to keep possession. Now, after that near turnover, clock is stopped. We have an injured player. Athletic training staff looking at him, so we'll step aside. So after the loss on first, here's second and 14. To throw is Keener. Oh, a loose football. The Packers have it. And he fumbles his way into the end zone. The fumble recovery. And a great return for the touchdown. And Greg, you offense, but make impact plays, and that is as big a play as you can ask for.
Yeah, across the league, Mike, this continues to be a huge point of emphasis. Every defensive coach starts practice with takeaway circuits. How can we find ways to take the ball away? In this case, they forced the fumble, scoop, score, 6 points.
Brandon McManus lining up for the extra point.
He looks free. Right side. Still going.
The attempt at the two-point conversion is no good. That keeps the score Packers 13, Bears 9. Brendan McManus to
The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kicks away. This fielded at about the 9. He'll be brought down right around the 25-yard line. DeAndre Swift to the Bears offense, set for their next possession. And he has been sensational in this opening quarter. You have to imagine we're going to see much more of him as this game goes on. It's a 3 tight end look as they have it 1st and 10. Off the play pick. He'll look to throw. The ball's out. The Packers have it. And now following the turnover, we have an injured player on the field. And as the medical staff looks him over, we'll step aside. That is Musgrave, the man in motion. And he surges forward for a gain of about 5. Now it looks like we have an injured Packer player on the field. So as they look at the injured player, we'll take a timeout. They'll come up here on 2nd down and 5. Handoff. Brooks. And he is stopped in his tracks. Loss of a couple on the play.
On the stop. A 2-yard loss brings up 3rd and 7.
So they'll talk over what to do on this 3rd down play as we have hit the end of the 1st quarter. It's the Packers on top. And we're back at Lambeau Field in just a moment. We begin quarter number 2. The Packers have the football as they come up now on 3rd and 7. Love to throw. And that is incomplete.
Pass intended for Matthew
Great
Golden.
pass rushers live for third down, especially when they know the offense has to be one-dimensional. And this is a great example here, Mike. They can just pin their ears back and go. They know there is no threat for run. It is a must-pass situation. And
for the Packer field goal.
for this offense, they're lucky it didn't result in a sack.
35-yard attempt.
McManus's kick is good. Now, after that last play, we have an injured Bear on the field. As the athletic training staff looks at him, we'll step away for a moment. Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. On the return, it's Devin Duvernay. And he'll work this one past the 25 to right about the 28-yard line. Now it looks like we have an injured Packer player on the field. The training staff going to look, and we'll step out for a moment. The give, it is Manunga. And he'll get about 6 there, setting up second down.
35-yard line. A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3.
On play action, he'll set up to throw. Gonna look deep. Looking for more. That one broken up. It's incomplete. All over him down the field. It'll set up third down.
So, Mike, regardless of what everyone else is playing, anytime there's a one single high safety, whether everyone's in man or zone, he's really just a full field zone defender. His job is to just help everyone across the board. And there's an element of instincts. There's an element of understanding offensive game plan.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. They got him. Now, after that last play, we have an injured Bear on the field. Athletic training staff looking at him, so we'll step aside. Here's their punter now, as he'll come on to punt this one away. Josh Jacobs and the Packers offense heading back onto the field.
20-yard line.
And he'll get about 3 on that one. It'll be second down. Backfield empties. 5 receivers in the formation for third down and 5. Throwing is Love. He's got his tight end. That's Musgrave. And And the defense can't come up with a stop there. Gain of 7 and a first down. They run out of the gun, and here's Lloyd. He'll get this ahead for about 3. Montez Sweat there on the tackle. Now, after that last play, we have an injured Bear on the field. And as the medical staff looks him over, we'll step aside. So, from the 37, here's 2nd and 6. Here's Love to throw. Love gets there, and he lost the football. It looked like a Packer was able to corral it, and indeed, possession stays with Green Bay.
Brings up 3rd down.
Sometimes these games in the NFL, Mike, they get decided by simply how the ball bounces. I mean, how often do we see a quarterback in the pocket get strip sack, and that ball ends up going the other direction? Fortunately for them, they can regroup, get back in the huddle, and live another day. Ball falls into the hands of his own guy, and they'll see if they can dodge this bullet.
So, backed up after the sack, and now it's 3rd and long. Here's Love. And this is going to be incomplete. That is a letdown there. Pass looked to be on target. No catch,
Sets up
and now 4th down.
It just seems like the offense gets in their own way, and whether it's a penalty or a drop or whatever the case may be, it's these self-inflicted wounds. They've got to stop if this unit ever wants to reach their full potential.
DeAndre Swift and the Bears offense set for their next possession. Run now for Manunga. And a pickup of 3, or maybe 4. Evan Williams is there for the stop. Now, after that last play, we have an injured Bear on the field. So, as they look at the injured player, we'll take a timeout. Here's 2nd and 6. Manunga gonna get it again. It'll be brought down shy of the 35, but that is good enough to move the sticks. Now it looks like we have an injured Packer player on the field. As the athletic training staff looks at him, we'll step away for a moment. From the 34 now, it's 1st and 10. On the ground, here is Manunga. And he's going to be brought down up past the 45. It's a pickup of 13 yards. First down, Chicago.
Bears first down.
And we're starting to see the fruits of their labor paying off here. I mean, they've used this run game to throw a bunch of body blows throughout the entire contest. And while some of the carries didn't result in much at the time, it's clear they're starting to take its toll on this defense.
This time the sledding becomes a little more difficult. They're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Now, after that last play, we have an injured bear on the field. The training staff going to look, and will step out for a moment. From the 48-yard line, here's 2nd and 9. Back to the ground. He'll get it again. And that'll go for a gain of about 4. Tyron Hopper there on the tackle. Now, after that last play, we have an injured bear on the field. Athletic training staff looking at him, so we'll step aside. Third down, they need 5. Back to throw. Bagent. And on 3rd down, that ball incomplete. Now it looks like we have an injured Packer player on the field. And as the medical staff looks him over, we'll step aside. It's too long for a field goal. They'll go for it here on 4th down. Now Bagent. Oh, they're on him in a flash, and he lost the football. And this will be recovered by the offense, so no run back at least, but it'll still wind up a turnover on downs.
Now, obviously, there's never a good time to fumble the ball. It's probably the thing that teams stress the most is ball security. But it makes it a little bit easier knowing that your own team was able to fall on top of it, and at least you can maintain possession.
From the 39, here's a 1st and 10. That is Musgrave, the man in motion. Oh, a short throw there, but it's going to end up incomplete. That's a pass he'll say he should have had. Instead, he does not, and it brings up 2nd down. Now, after that last play, we have an injured bear on the field. So as they look at the injured player, we'll take a timeout. They'll try again here. 2nd and 10. Now Love. Oh, and this one's going to wind up incomplete. That's one you'd think he'd be able to corral. He can't find the handle, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down
and 10.
And that's another brutal drop for an offense that has struggled to catch the ball up to this point. And yes, you can nitpick about ball placement and whatnot, but listen, the reality is at this level, if it hits your hands, you have to find a way to come down with it.
That is Musgrave, the man in motion. Out of the shotgun. It's Love. Oh, he doesn't put it away, and the ball's out. Looks like the Bears got there, and they did. Chicago ball. They'll begin here on the ground. And he's going to get this one out to the 43-yard line. Now, after that last play, we have an injured bear on the field. As the athletic training staff looks at him, we'll step away for a moment. They'll go with a counter on first down. And this time they are ready for it. Thrown for a loss. And it's second down. Now it looks like we have an injured Packer player on the field. The training staff going to look and will step out for a moment. Last play went the wrong way. It sets up second and long. It's second down and 12. Throwing Bajan. Oh, he's going to be followed up and taken down. They got him. Michael Parsons gets him for a loss of 7. And now it's third down.
Mike, this isn't real complicated. You're just not going to win a lot of NFL games when you continue to give up sacks at the rate that they are. I mean, this is just a complete disaster for this offensive line, and if they don't get it fixed, this game could be a runaway.
Work to do following the sack. It is third and long. Here's Bajan. That one too far out in front. It is incomplete. Now, after that last play, we have an injured Bear on the field. Athletic training staff looking at him, so we'll step aside. The Bears sending out their punt team.
For the Bears. The Packers
offense ready to take over possession of the football.
20-yard line.
Looks like we have an injured Packer player on the field. And as the medical staff looks him over, we'll step aside. From the 22 now, here's second and 8. Love. A throw left side, but it's incomplete.
Intended for
it's pretty remarkable at this stage, Mike, that they're even winning this game. I mean, anytime a quarterback is completing less than 50% of his throws, you just don't see that very often, and it just seems like time and time again, this quarterback and his intended targets, they're just not on the same page.
The man in motion is Watson. On third down, they'll set up to throw. And that one thrown away to the sideline. It's incomplete. It's a frustrating series.
Incomplete.
It'll bring up fourth down.
It's fourth down.
I think as the offense comes to the sideline now, the quarterback and his wide receivers need to get together and say, hey, guys, what are you seeing out there? How can we find some open targets? Because on that last down, there was nowhere to go with the ball.
And he didn't get the check he was hoping for on that one. That goes into the end zone, and it's a touchback. The Bears offense and running back Kyle Monangai heading back out for their next possession. Agent now. That'll be intercepted. Picked off by Javon Buller. And his offense is going to be all set up with a short field and a chance to extend their lead.
I know it doesn't seem like a ton of yards on top of that pick, but that was really well done. I mean, it's just going to make life so much easier now as the offense takes the field, trying to capitalize off of that turnover.
The Packers offense getting those helmets back on, ready to head out for their next possession. They've got the lead, and they'll set forth trying to build on it. They're going to do that with excellent field position. On first down, it's Love. That is pulled in by Musgrave. He'll be taken down, but just like that, they are in business. It's first and goal.
12 yards.
Sudden change. So you find yourself defensively a little bit on your heels. Your offense just turned the ball over. Now you've got to go out and make a stand. Well, so far this offense has moved the ball pretty quickly, but can they dig in and at least force a field goal?
He's going to force his way for a yard or two, but looks like this one's going to be coming back. Rasheed Walker, guilty of the infraction. Now it is first and goal.
Check, go get him, go get him, go get him.
Now Love. Go right back to Musgrave. He's got it again.
Every pass has to be thrown downfield. You can rely on the run after catch, especially a big body like this tight end. Get the ball in his hands early and let him pick up the rest after the catch.
9 yards from the end zone for second down and goal. This one caught at the 4. And he'll be out of bounds. There is a flag on the field. And let's see what caused it. You only get a 1-yard buffer from the line of scrimmage for these old linemen. That time he strayed a little too far.
Still second down.
And it draws the flag. From a little further back, here's second and goal. A quick throw on the RPO is complete.
Complete to Matthew.
Man, what a big-time play here by the corner. It feels like he knew that play was coming before the ball was even snapped. You can see he sticks his foot in the ground and bursts. He ends that play before it even has a chance to get started.
So the last two plays have gone backwards. Now it's third and goal. From the gun, it's Love. Quick throw here is complete. He's going to be out of bounds. He is well shy where he needed to get to. It'll bring up fourth down. Brandon McManus and the field goal unit come on.
27-yard attempt.
This about as short as you can get. He is 2 for 2. That kick is good. And the Packers will extend their lead.
Bears 9.
Yeah, he does a nice job handling that kick there, but I think offensively, you come back to the sideline and you're thinking, we have to find a way to finish these drives. I mean, to be in first and goal and settle for 3, that can be very deflating for an offense settling for too many field goals.
The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away. Duvernay on the return. Across the 20, they'll mark him down before the 25-yard line. And that's where the offense will take over. Now, after that last play, we have an injured Bear on the field. So as they look at the injured player, we'll take a timeout. So here's a 1st and 10 now. They'll start from the 24. Trying to start on the ground. And He'll bring this to about the 25. The All-Pro Micah Parsons there for the stop. Now, after that last play, we have an injured Bear on the field. As the athletic training staff looks at him, we'll step away for a moment. From the 25, here's second down and 9. Pages. That's to the middle of the field and caught by Walker.
14 yards.
And they'll mark him down just shy of the 40.
First down.
First time these two have connected this afternoon, and it'll wind up being a first down.
And while it ultimately worked out for him this time, Mike, this is not a throw he wants to make a habit of, because that was risky. When he threw it, I thought that ball was being picked. I think he got away with one here, results in a big pickup, and get a fresh set of downs.
And he'll be driven out of bounds, and that's a pickup of 8.
Out of bounds at his own 48-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, brings up second and 2.
We'll come to the line now on second and 2. They'll turn and hand this one off. And he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, if that. But there is a flag on the field.
Offense.
And that is in the area where usually someone was held. To throw is Bajan. This one not quite on target. Let him too much, and that one falls incomplete. Now it looks like we have an injured Packer player on the field. The training staff going to look, and we'll step out for a moment. Third and long. They'll look to throw. That is intercepted. Picked up by Javon Bullard. And he is going to score. A big 6 for the touchdown. We saw it earlier. The defense on the quarterback with the earlier interception. Now, Greg, not only do they pick them, they turn it into a pick 6.
And, Mike, the reality is this has just been a bad first half throwing the football. I mean, not only is it a second interception, but this time the defense gets their hands on the ball, and they're able to take it all the way back for the pick 6.
Brandon McManus lining up
for the point
extra
after.
point.
He's got it. And the Packers add on one more as they extend their second quarter lead.
26, Bears 9.
Both teams ready to go once more as the kicks away. This taken in at the 8-yard line. And it'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive.
27-yard line.
The Bears offense and running back Kyle Monungai heading back out for their next possession. And he'll get nothing here. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all. Now it looks like we have an injured Packer player on the field. Athletic training staff looking at him, so we'll step aside. Second and 10. They'll stick with him again. Once again, this defense up to the task. They stop him for no gain yet again. And now it's third down. An injured player on the field, and that is Micah Parsons, who needs some medical attention. And as the medical staff looks him over, we'll step aside. Third and 9. Now they'll set up to throw. And this one complete on the sideline. Good footwork to stay in bounds, but he is just shy of the first down. And that brings up fourth down. We're about ready now for the punt
formation for the Bears.
And no chance to down this one. He carries deep into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
Offense ready to take over once again. The lead is 17 as they try to maybe pull away in this one. It is first and 10. In motion goes Dobbs. And he'll get about 3 on that one. It'll be second down. Off the play fake. Here's Love. Looking downfield. That's Musgrave, the tight end. Now it looks like we have an injured Packer player on the field. So as they look at the injured player, we'll take a timeout. They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for first and 10. They'll go play action with Love. Catch is made by Romeo Dobbs. And they bring him down, but not until they get inside the 30-yard line.
19 more yards.
19 more on that one. And another first down.
First and 10 at
the thing that jumps out to me the most, Mike, is just how often the quarterback is able to throw the ball to his first read in the progression. So hats off to the play caller. Him and the quarterback seeing the game through the exact same set of eyes. And there is a lot of room to operate.
And they'll finally run him down, but he takes it inside the 10-yard line. Now it looks like we have an injured Packer player on the field. As the athletic training staff looks at him, we'll step away for a moment. A couple of big plays, one after the other, and now it's 1st and goal. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Packers. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. This defense continuing to give up points. Greg, you've been on offenses like this. This has to feel great when you're on a roll like this.
And it's really twofold, Mike. First and foremost, just like you said, every offense in the league works all week. We want to start out fast. We want to establish some early rhythm and play our style of game. They've certainly done that. Now, on the flip side, what does it do to your opponent? It takes them completely out of their game plan, knowing this early in the game, they're chasing points.
And now another extra point off the mark. 3 misses on extra points in this game alone. The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kicks away. Duvernay on the return. He'll get across the 20, mark him down at the 23-yard line.
On the return.
The Bears offense and running back Kyle Monungai heading back out for their next possession. They'll try to get this a bit more respectable before the break. It has not been their half to this point. Let's see what they do on this drive. 1st down now. Play fake. Now Williams. That one down the field, but it is incomplete. Now after that last play, we have an injured Bear on the field. The training staff going to look, and will step out for a moment. Try again. It's 2nd and 10. A handoff as they try to run it here. He'll work his way forward for about 3 yards. Xavier McKinney, the one who brings him down.
A gain of 4.
And as of right now, they find themselves trailing at the moment, but it's certainly not because of the ground game. I mean, he's averaging over 4 yards per carry. Just hasn't been enough to overcome some of their shortcomings elsewhere.
On 3rd down, it's Williams. This one just too far for the receiver, out in front of him. That one falls incomplete. Now it looks like we have an injured Packer player on the field. Athletic training staff looking at him, so we'll step aside.
Torrey Taylor
to
in
kick
punt
this one
formation
away
for the Bears. The Packers take
Jordan
over
Love, the
1st
rest of the
and 10
Packer offense,
at their own
ready for their
20-yard
next
line.
possession. And he has done everything you could ask of him coming into this one. Spread it around, hasn't taken many chances, and potentially on his way to a big game throwing the football. The drive begins at the 20. Here's 1st and 10. On play action, Love. Oh, and a short throw there, but it's going to end up incomplete. That's a pass he'll say he should have had. Instead, he does not, and it brings up 2nd down. Now, after that last play, we have an injured bear on the field. And as the medical staff looks him over, we'll step aside. On second down, Love. That's Dobbs open left side. And they'll mark him down up beyond the 30. Now it looks like we have an injured Packer player on the field. So as they look at the injured player, we'll take a timeout. Line of scrimmage is the 31 as they line up first and 10. And he will not be able to turn upfield. He'll drop him behind the line.
This is what every defense in the league is shooting for, Mike. Negative plays. That's how you kill drives. Force teams to play from behind the sticks. Great job here, taking them down for a loss.
Here's a second and 12. Love to throw. Here's a screen now for Lewis. This one will be sniffed out. Blown up in the backfield.
A loss of 2 on the play.
I think this play is a direct result of his film study. He knew exactly where that ball was going before the play was snapped, and that play recognition, man, it separates a lot of guys in this league and results in a negative play.
From the gun on third down, it's Love. Short throw there, pulled in by Musgrave. He's got a touchdown on the books from earlier, and that catch gets him a first down.
It's a gain of 16 yards. And the Packers first down. First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
So far here early, Mike, the key for this offense has been their ability to maintain possession by converting on these third downs. It's going to be a big storyline the rest of the way. This defense has to find a way. When they force third down, they got to get off the field.
And they're going to work this down inside the 45. Now, after that last play, we have an injured bear on the field. As the athletic training staff looks at him, we'll step away for a moment. A fresh set of downs to work with. It is first down and 10. Now, faking the give. Looking down the field there, but it falls incomplete. Now, after that last play, we have an injured bear on the field. The training staff going to look, and we'll step out for a moment. Second down throw for Love. And that ball in and out of his hands. It is incomplete. Might tell you after the game he should have come up with that one. He doesn't, and now third down comes up.
10 yards to go.
I feel like their quarterback, for the most part, has looked pretty solid. I mean, it's everybody else that seems to have let him down with the drop balls and the mistakes. That's really what's killing these drives.
Out of the shotgun, it's Love. That one too far out in front. It is incomplete.
Ever so often, Mike, you can see these offenses, and it looks like the passing game gets a little bit too predictable. And as the defense continues to flood the back end of these zones with extra defenders, they're continuing to force this quarterback to not only make some difficult throws, but to put the ball in harm's way.
And this will go down as a punt inside the 20 as it continues out of bounds.
At their own 16-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to take over once more. Putting one of their tight ends in motion left. Going back in the backfield. He'll get the carry here. Not much happening there. Just a short gain. Now it looks like we have an injured Packer player on the field. Athletic training staff looking at him, so we'll step aside. Second down, 8 yards to go. He'll run it on the inside handoff. And he will not be able to get free, picking up only a yard. Now, it's third down. Now, after that last play, we have an injured Bear on the field. And as the medical staff looks him over, we'll step aside. First down away to the 26-yard line. And here's third down. Working out of the gun. Here's Williams. Gonna look deep. Looking for more. And he will take this one in. 80 yards. Touchdown, Chicago.
Touchdown, Bears.
A beautiful combination in the air there. The pass downfield and bringing it the rest of the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And it's really just a great route, Mike, and then a beautiful throw. The accuracy of the throw is what allowed the receiver not only to secure the catch, but then be able to turn it up and finish the play and find himself in the end zone.
On is Santos for the PAT. And he missed it. That's a rare miss for the veteran. And they are unable to add on the point after. So here's Santos after the touchdown. He's out to kick this one off. Now return coming from the 7. And he's brought down right at the 25-yard line. The Packers offense ready to get back to work. From the 25, they'll go to work. First and 10. On play action, he'll set up to throw. Throw here down the field. Will fall. Incomplete. Now, after that last play, we have an injured Bear on the field. So as they look at the injured player, we'll take a timeout. They'll try again here. 2nd and 10. Back to the air. It's Love. Oh, and this one's going to wind up incomplete. That's one you'd think he'd be able to corral. He can't find the handle, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down.
And it was really the pressure that threw that play off, Mike. I mean, he tries to counter the blitz by going to the quick game, which is fine, but it just seemed like they weren't necessarily on the same page and results in a drop.
On 3rd down, they'll set up to throw. They'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
There's no need to do anything reckless. It's 3rd and long. The opportunity to convert this is probably slim, so there was nothing open downfield. I think he makes the smart decision here, Mike. Avoid the negative play and throw the ball away.
Packers set to kick this one away. The Bears offense and DJ Moore heading back onto the field. And seemingly every time they've looked his way in the first half, it's resulted in a big play. That is borne out by those eye-popping numbers. There's a handoff out of the gun. And a missed tackle there. He pushes forward. It'll give him 4 yards.
So his team finds themselves now in a little bit of a tricky situation here, Mike. If they don't find a way to start sustaining some of these drives and come away with points, all of a sudden you're trailing by double digits in the second half. You become very one-dimensional. You become very pass-heavy, and that's certainly not how any team in the NFL wants to play.
That one down the field, but they cannot connect, and it's incomplete.
Every team has those vertical shots, Mike. They're on the call sheet, and they feel like they can get behind the defense. I think that was one of them, and just couldn't quite connect downfield because he had pretty good separation.
Got to get it to the 30. Here comes 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Williams. That ball is caught on the sideline, and both feet inbounds.
Personal foul.
A big 3rd down pickup for a 1st down. He's going to run it here with Manunga. And he's going to be stuck well behind the line of scrimmage. A play going absolutely nowhere. Now, after that last play, we have an injured Bear on the field. As the athletic training staff looks at him, we'll step away for a moment. So after the loss on 1st, here's 2nd and 14. Operating from the shotgun, it's Williams. And that is incomplete. But a penalty flag
Personal foul.
is down.
Roughing the passer.
Let's see who they got. So they come to the line for 1st down and 10. They'll go play action here with Williams. And they'll get about 4 here as he is taken down. Now, after that last play, we have an injured Bear on the field. The training staff going to look, and we'll step out for a moment. Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's 2nd and 6. Off play action. Here's Williams. That one too far out in front to be brought in. And it's incomplete.
Mike, when you're completing less than 35% of your passes, you're just not going to win a lot of games in the NFL. He's just too erratic throughout the course of the game. Sometimes it's exactly how they practiced, and at other times it looks like they've never practiced at all.
On third down, it's Williams from the gun. And he's going to be taken down short of the marker, and that is going to set up an interesting fourth down decision. Now it looks like we have an injured Packer player on the field. Athletic training staff looking at him, so we'll step aside. No move for the field goal unit. They're going to line up and go for it on fourth down. They'll try to run. And he'll indeed pick up a Bears first down. They find a way to keep the drive going with the fourth down conversion. On the ground, it's Homer. And he'll get back to the line of scrimmage at best. Might have even lost a yard there. Now, after that last play, we have an injured Bear on the field. And as the medical staff looks him over, we'll step aside. Lost one on the last play, so now it's 2nd and 11. Here's Williams. That's into the hands of Homer. And he's going to be dropped after a pickup of about 5. 3rd and 6. To throw is Williams. Oh, and that throw not able to be pulled in. It's incomplete. Looks like he may have got a little ahead of himself there. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
We're starting to see a lot of this on 3rd down, Mike, where they're going to rely on the run after catch to pick up these 3rd down conversions. You know what that depends on? You have to actually complete the ball. In this case, it falls incomplete, brings up 4th down.
Santos' kick is good.
Makes the score.
And the Bears
32
are back
Bears
within 2 scores.
And when you find yourself down double digits, you don't want to make habit of settling for these field goals. It does allow them to chip away a little bit and cut into this deficit, but they've got to find a way to score touchdowns.
Cairo Santos, following the made field goal, back out to kick this one away. This is fielded inside the 5. There is a marker down. He is past the 25-yard line.
Holding.
Let's see what the flag is about. from the gun. It's Love. That one just too far out in front, and it's incomplete. Trying to get it to Savion Williams there.
Brings up third
and
down,
it'll be third down.
7.
And when you look down the field, Mike, there's just really nobody creating any real separation. And instead, he tries to give one of his guys a 50-50 contested catch opportunity. But with the coverage as tight as it was, it just falls incomplete.
Off-balance throw. It's complete. And he'll try to get to the marker, but he's not going to get there. Out of bounds, a couple of yards short. It is fourth down.
Daniel
comes the
Whelan
Packers
in
punting
punt
team.
formation for the Packers. The Bears take over.
The Bears
first
offense
and 10.
going to take over here in the final minute of this first half. Williams going to look to throw it on first down. That one out of the reach of the receiver's outstretched arms. It is incomplete. Now, after that last play, we have an injured Bear on the field. Halftime is looming, so the athletic training staff going to get a chance to look him over during the break. Throwing on second down. Williams. And mark him down up beyond the 30. Now, after that last play, we have an injured Bear on the field. Halftime is looming, so the athletic training staff going to get a chance to look him over during the break. Here's first and 10. To throw, it's Williams. He's going to tuck it and go. The Bears will use one of their timeouts here. They stop it here with just under 40 seconds until halftime.
Take a look at his eyes. You can see the quarterback clearly going through all of his progressions, and he's quick to realize there's nowhere to go with this ball. He makes the right decision and gets out of there, picks up some good yardage, and gets down on the ground.
Second down and 3. They're going to motion the tight end over here. Williams to throw on second down. And no turnover here. The guards able to get the football, get on it to keep possession.
By the offense.
That's a second charge timeout to Chicago. Clock will stop with 33 seconds to go until halftime. Third and 7. Williams. Oh, and that throw not able to be pulled in. It's incomplete. Looked like he may have got a little ahead of himself there. And it's going to bring up fourth down.
So the hope is your 1/3 down conversion from really jump-starting a possession that ultimately leads in points. But after that third down incompletion, kind of throws a wrench into those plans.
The Packers offense going to get it one last time here late in the opening half. The lead is a couple of touchdowns as this drive kicks off 1st and 10.
I got him. That's me, it's you.
Back to throw is Love. Back to the left side and taken in by Golden.
Wait to Matthew Golden. A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5 at the 25-yard line.
So, halftime straight ahead. And we go down to Scott Hansen, who has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Mike, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to the Orlando studios. Scott Hansen with you for a quick halftime report. We'll let both sides catch their breath and get their orange wedges as we're going to get ready for the third quarter action. So let's go back out to the stadium as we rejoin our broadcast team, Mike Tirico and Greg Olson.
Scott, thanks. Probably a tough halftime for the defensive coordinators, trying to do something to slow down these offenses. What a show they put on in the first half.
Brendan McManus to
Third
kick
quarter
off
set
for
to
Green
commence.
Bay.
And we're back underway here on EA Sports. Duvernay on the return. And he is stopped
The
at
Bears
25.
take over
The
1st
drive
and
will
10
begin there.
at their own 25-yard
Bears
line.
offense looking to get back to work as we begin this third quarter. They trail by 2 touchdowns, so the time is now. Got to get that rally going. It starts with 1st and 10. A run here with Homer. And he's got some space. Up past the 30 to about the 32-yard line. A pickup of 7. Now, after that last play, we have an injured Bear on the field. So as they look at the injured player, we'll take a timeout. From the 32-yard line now, here's 2nd and 3. They'll run it with Homer. And it doesn't appear that he got to that first down marker. They'll only give him a yard, so it'll set up 3rd down. Now, after that last play, we have an injured Bear on the field. As the athletic training staff looks at him, we'll step away for a moment. It's going to be 3rd. They need 1. They'll go with the sneak. Trying to find any seam he can, but the push too strong in the middle. He didn't get there. It's 4th down.
No gain on a quarterback sneak? That's pretty surprising, Mike, anytime we see that happen. There just aren't many plays in the NFL that we consider to be automatic.
Torrey Taylor
The quarterback sneak is normally pretty close.
The Packers take
The
over
Packers
first and
offense
10
getting ready for their
at their
opening
own
possession
20-yard
of
line.
this second half. Going to be looking to possibly push this to a 3-score advantage. Work to do on this drive. First and 10. His way forward, a gain of 6. So, from the 26-yard line, here's 2nd and 4. Now, Love. Who else? Another catch for his favorite target. And he'll be taken down. The gain is 6, and it's a new set of downs. He picked up the first down. Now it looks like we have an injured Packer player on the field. The training staff going to look, and will step out for a moment. So it'll be 1st and 10. They'll scrimmage at the 33. And he'll get about 3 on that one. It'll be 2nd down. Throwing is Love. Throwing off his back foot, and it's taken in. And he's not going to be able to get away. Good defense on the perimeter. It'll be a loss of yardage. Third down and 9. Here's Love. And this is going to be incomplete. That is a letdown there. Pass looked to be on target. No catch. And now 4th down.
It's been a bit of a pedestrian game for this quarterback and ultimately this passing game here today, Mike. And I know they all would have loved to connect on that deep throw. I think that stat sheet would have looked a whole lot different, but just a little off in their execution and leads to an incompletion.
So out comes the Chicago offense as they get set to take over once more. They need to start making some inroads here. Down 2 scores as they begin this drive with 1st down. He'll be stacked up at the line of scrimmage. Now, after that last play, we have an injured Bear on the field. Athletic training staff looking at him, so we'll step aside. Second and 11. Now Williams. Rush comes. They're setting up the screen. And that one's just too long to get going. They'll come up and stop him before the lineman could get out to lead the way.
The best defenders can just sense when a screen is coming. They can tell the body language of the offensive lineman's pass set. They can tell on the drop of the quarterback. It just doesn't look right. It's exactly the case here. Great job getting to the back and taking him down for a loss.
On 3rd down, it's Williams. But he tried to fit in the slant, and it was intercepted. And his offense is going to be all set up with a short field and a chance to extend their lead.
This is really becoming a key element to playing quarterback in the NFL, Mike. The ability to play off script and use your legs to extend the play. I think in this case, he either needs to tuck that ball down and become a runner, or he just simply needs to throw that ball away.
On the handoff, this is Jacobs. And he'll take this forward for about 3. It's second down. Now it looks like we have an injured Packer player on the field. And as the medical staff looks him over, we'll step aside. From the 21, here's second down and 7. The man in motion is Watson. On play action, Love. A throw there on second down, going to be incomplete.
Luke Musgrave.
Luke Musgrave, the tight end, was the intended target there.
Third down and 7.
And it's going to be third down.
Well defended there. The quarterback's trying to attack this defense outside the numbers. Those really wide angle throws near the sideline sometimes can be very hard to defend. So give a lot of credit to this secondary. They were all on the same page, and the ball falls incomplete.
And this ball incomplete on third down.
Musgrave. Incomplete.
I think that play probably results in a completion if that protection just holds up a little bit longer. It was that initial pressure in the face of the quarterback that forced him to get rid of that ball a little bit earlier than he wanted. Disrupts that timing, ruins the play.
A 38-yard attempt.
Oh, he missed it from short range. A bad miss. It's no good. And this will stay a 2-possession game.
They're just trying to extend the lead here, and this is definitely one they're going to want to have back.
The Bears offense ready for this next possession. They go 3 tight ends here on 1st and 10. Up the middle they go. And they'll bring him down, but not until he gets to the 38-yard line. Now, after that last play, we have an injured Bear on the field. So as they look at the injured player, we'll take a timeout. So, 1st and 10 here now at the 38. Throwing is Williams. And he won't get away. Good open field tackle there to get him down behind the line. Now, after that last play, we have an injured Bear on the field. As the athletic training staff looks at him, we'll step away for a moment. After the loss of 3, it is 2nd and 13. Working out of the gun, here's Williams. Oh, and this one's going to wind up incomplete. That's one you'd think he'd be able to corral. Can't find the handle, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down.
The whole idea of that short pass is designed to get the ball into the hands of the receiver in space and let him do the rest after the catch. But the key word there, Mike, is get the ball into the hands of the receiver. He doesn't secure the catch, so there is no run after.
He'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
At this stage of the game, things haven't been going your way, so one more mistake, it could just be too much to overcome. So a nice decision there. Just throw it away out of bounds and give your team a fighting chance.
And now here comes the punt team. Now, after that last play, we have an injured Bear on the field. The training staff going to look, and we'll step out for a moment. The drive begins at the 20. Here's 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Jacobs. Trying to bounce that outside. It went a long way for a gain of nothing. Now it looks like we have an injured Packer player on the field. Athletic training staff looking at him, so we'll step aside. They'll try again here. 2nd and 10. On the run, it's Wilson. And he'll get 4 here, up to the 24-yard line.
On the stop. It's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 6.
Got to get it to the 30. Here comes 3rd down. Out of the shotgun, it's Love. That one was reeled in by Golden. It's a gain of 12 there. 1st down.
A gain of 12 yards. That's good for a Packers 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Really nice job there, Mike. I mean, he sees the blitz coming and just gets the ball out of his hands. Understand where your outlets are. It results in an easy pitch and catch and move the chains.
Here's a handoff to Jacobs. And he's brought down after a gain of a couple. Now it looks like we have an injured Packer player on the field. And as the medical staff looks him over, we'll step aside. Ball on the 39. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Love. The 2nd down throw is incomplete. Now after that last play, we have an injured Bear on the field. So as they look at the injured player, we'll take a timeout. They need 8 as they come up for 3rd down. To throw is Love. He's going to uncork one. Looking for Wicks. And good running on the return. It'll help him out. Right around the 45-yard line.
And this is what comes when you decide to attack outside the numbers. You have to have a quarterback that's A, willing to make tough throws, and B, the arm strength to do it. He has the arm. I just think that one was a little too reckless, and they end up with a big interception.
LeBear's offense back onto the field for their next possession. They'll have very good starting field position as they set up past the 40. A play fake. Now Williams. He's going to let this one go deep. That'll be batted away. Incomplete. Coverage very strong defensively. It's 2nd down. Now after that last play, we have an injured Bear on the field. As the athletic training staff looks at him, we'll step away for a moment. 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Williams. And penalty flags come in as it winds up incomplete, but no doubt there was contact there. The tight end, Komet, is on the move. A play fake, and they'll throw with Williams. Oh, and a short throw there, but it's going to end up incomplete. That's a pass he'll say he should have had. Instead, he does not, and it brings up 2nd down. Give up the middle. Only a couple on that one. It'll set up 3rd down. Now, after that last play, we have an injured bear on the field. The training staff going to look, and will step out for a moment. They need to get to the 22, but now face 3rd down. Operating from the shotgun, it's Williams. That one going nowhere, but a late penalty flag comes in. They may get bailed out here. Line of scrimmage is the 15. It's 1st and 10. On the handoff, it's Johnson. He'll work his way ahead for a gain of about 4.
He was brought down
in order to be
10-yard
successful
line.
as a run-heavy offense, Mike, it's so important that you remain really efficient on 1st and 2nd down. The last thing you want is to be in 3rd and pass, and it really throws off what you feel like your strengths are. So now you get down here in the red zone, it's got to be touchdowns. These long, sustained drives on the ground, you kick a field goal, that's a win.
Carrying that ball loosely, and it is out. And it will be another turnover as this defense does it again. And now, following the turnover, we have an injured player on the field. Athletic training staff looking at him, so we'll step aside. On the ground is Jacobs to start the drive. And not much there. Good defense, held to no gain. Now, after that last play, we have an injured bear on the field. And as the medical staff looks him over, we'll step aside. Here's a 2nd and 9. Here's Love to throw. Oh, and this one's going to wind up incomplete. That's one you'd think he'd be able to corral. He can't find the handle, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Yards to go.
Anytime you see a receiver at this level miss a ball that easy, it's just concentration. They just take it for granted. All of a sudden, they're thinking about what their next move is or what they're going to do after the catch. And instead of just focusing on first things first, secure the catch, put the ball away, then become a runner.
False start, offense.
So, after the 5 yards are walked off, they face 3rd and long. Love. Quickly, they get it into the hands of Williams.
Love's pass. Complete to Savion.
That's just one of those drives that was out of whack from the start, Mike. They just couldn't get anything going on the early downs, and they'll most likely punt the ball away and hope that their defense can do the same thing and get them the ball back.
In punt
On 4th
formation
down,
for the
out
Packers.
comes the punter, as he'll hit this from just outside of his own goal line. And no return forthcoming. It's a touchback, and will come out to the 20-yard line. The Bears offense ready to get back at it. It's a 3 tight end look as they have it 1st and 10. They'll start this on the ground with Johnson. And he'll be brought down up around the 38-yard line. Now it looks like we have an injured Packer player on the field. So as they look at the injured player, we'll take a timeout. Now a 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. Another run here with Johnson. And that'll be good for about a half dozen. It'll set up 2nd down.
The tackle made at the 44-yard line. A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3.
Here's Williams. And he'll just bite the bullet and throw this one away. That was a good idea. Didn't force anything there. But now it's going to bring up 3rd down. Now after that last play, we have an injured Bear on the field. As the athletic training staff looks at him, we'll step away for a moment. They'll come up to 3rd and 3. Feed it. Oh, and that throw not able to be pulled in. It's incomplete. Looked like he may have got a little ahead of himself there. And it's going to bring up 4th down. Special teams out to the field, ready for this punt. Jordan Love, the rest of the Packer offense, ready for their next possession.
20-yard line.
And he has been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been picked apart. That is borne out in those impressive numbers. He has been terrific all game long. On 1st and 10, here comes Jake. The ball comes out. The Bears have it. And now, following the turnover, we have an injured player on the field. The training staff going to look, and will step out for a moment. And remember now, all turnovers must be reviewed by
Previous
replay.
play is under
So this
review.
one is going to need a little closer look. At issue was the knee or any other body part except the hand down before the ball comes loose. And are the visuals convincing enough to overturn the call on the field?
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So that one overturned. They say the runner was down, and that will not be a fumble. Line of scrimmage is the 31 as they line up 1st and 10. Here's Wilson. Not much there. Maybe a yard.
The ball carrier. T.J. Edwards on the tackle. 2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8 at the 33-yard line.
From the 33, here's 2nd and 8. From the gun, it's Love. And the ball out of the reach of the receiver. Falls incomplete.
I'll tell you what, Mike, with this guy's speed, he's not an easy target to overthrow. So that's one of those where they're telling this quarterback, throw it with everything you got. Just lay it out there. And more times than not, he's going to run under it. But in this case, just a little bit too much on it. He winds up overshooting his man.
From the gun, on 3rd down, it's Love. He manages to get the throw away and completes it. That pass play, good for 22. Good for a Green Bay first down.
First down.
3rd downs, Mike, those are quarterback downs. Those are the downs where you tend to find yourself in a must-pass situation, and that's where the top guys in the league are still capable of overcoming it. So throw the ball downfield, be accurate with the ball. Winning on 3rd downs, that is a recipe for success.
Oh, and a short throw there, but it's going to end up incomplete. That's a pass you say he should have had. Instead, he does not, and it brings up 2nd down.
Oftentimes, it's the wide open ones that are the hardest to catch. It seems like the ball is in the air forever. You start overthinking it. You start really making more of it than what you should, and you let it slip away.
A carry here for Wilson. And he's bottled up after a gain of a yard. Now it looks like we have an injured Packer player on the field. Athletic training staff looking at him, so we'll step aside. Third and 9. Now Love. That's into the hands of Emmanuel Wilson. And he will not quite get to the marker. Good job there defensively. And now decision time. What are you going to do on 4th down? They'll come up here. 1st and 10. They'll run with Wilson. A gain of 4 as he's taken down. Now it looks like we have an injured Packer player on the field. And as the medical staff looks him over, we'll step aside. It is 2nd and 6. Back to throw is Love. Gets it away quickly, and it's caught. And it'll be a short pickup. That's not enough for the 1st down. Now it looks like we have an injured Packer player on the field. So as they look at the injured player, we'll take a timeout. Can they keep this drive rolling? Here is 3rd and inches. They'll try to sneak it here. And he will have a Packers first down. Maybe by about a yard as they find a way to convert on 3rd and inches.
First down.
And with that run, it puts them on the doorstep of the end zone. This has been a really impressive series up until this point, Mike. I mean, so much that anything less than a touchdown kind of feels like a letdown.
Love to throw. And he overshot his man. Out of the end zone. That one's incomplete.
It's not often you see a pass that's out of the reach of this guy. I mean, 50-50 balls tend to go his favor more often than not, but this one kind of gets away from him just a little bit and falls incomplete.
Another shot at it from the 9. 2nd down and goal. Here's Love. He'll keep this himself. Oh, a loose football. It looks like a Packer was able to corral it, and indeed, possession stays with Green Bay.
So as you start operating your red zone offense, of course it goes without saying, Mike, you're trying to score touchdowns. But the worst case scenario is that you bring your field goal unit and you at least try for 3. You have to protect the ball. Turnovers are the cardinal sin of red zone offense. In this case, they dodge a little bit of a bullet here. The ball comes loose. Fortunately for the ball carrier, his own team recovers it. They can keep their offense on the field and see if they can finish this drive.
Brandon McManus and the field goal unit come on.
A 27-yard
about as short as you can get. Oh, looked like he mishit it. He missed that one from short range. No good. Now, after that last play, we have an injured Bear on the field. As the athletic training staff looks at him, we'll step away for a moment. On the bootleg, it's Williams. Will swing this out to Johnson. It'll be taken down rather swiftly after a gain of just 3. Now it looks like we have an injured Packer player on the field. The training staff going to look, and will step out for a moment. From the 24 now, here's 2nd down and 6. Here's Williams now to throw. That's into the hands of Olamide Zaccheaus. And it'll be taken down. The gain is 6, and it's a new set of downs. He picked up the 1st down.
First down, Chicago.
Not a whole lot complicated about this play, Mike. That was understanding where the holes of the defense were. Remember, in this zone coverage, you got to find green grass. Get past the 1st down marker. Be friendly to the quarterback, and then the ball has to be out on time.
The pressure gets home. He's lost the football. The Packers have it. And he's going to score again. Got that for a daily double. The 2nd defensive touchdown he's scored in this game. Greg, what a terrible play for the offense. You're trying to gain some momentum. Here you not only lose the handle of the ball, you hand the defense 6 points.
And Mike, how often do we see that when a player loses the ball, his confidence is not far behind? And I think in this case, that's where the coaching comes in. Put your arm around him. Hey, we're giving you the ball in this next possession. We believe in you. They've got to get this player back into the flow of the game after that back-breaking turnover that led to the defensive touchdown.
Brandon
now it's McManus
lining up
for the point after.
Point.
And do you believe this?
So good.
Yeah, there's cause for concern over there. That is a 4th missed extra point in this game.
Brendan McManus to
Both
kick
teams
off for
ready to
Green
go
Bay.
once more as the kick's away. Duvernay on the return. And he'll be taken down right at the 29-yard line. Now it looks like we have an injured Packer player on the field. Athletic training staff looking at him, so we'll step aside. So the drive begins with a give to Johnson. And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. Nothing more. Now it looks like we have an injured Packer player on the field. And as the medical staff looks him over, we'll step aside. We'll try again. It's 2nd and 10. Here's Bajan. Throw right. He's hit after the catch, and the ball comes free.
Bajan's
And it will be another turnover as this defense does it again.
Mike, we hear that term run after catch so often, and sometimes people miss that there's kind of a middle phase. There's the catch, but before it turns into a run, you have to secure the ball as a ball carrier, right? It needs to be put away, properly held, points of pressure, front tip up, against your body. All of that is kind of taken for granted. Catching it is just step one. You've got to secure the ball before you become a runner.
And remember now, all turnovers have to be verified by a replay, so they might be taking a look at this
Previous
one.
play is under review.
At issue was the knee, or any other body part except the hand, down before the ball comes loose, and are the visuals convincing enough to overturn the call on the field?
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So that one overturned. They say the runner was down, and that will not be a fumble. 3rd and a yard. They'll run the sneak. And it looks like he's got enough for the first down. Let's wait for the mark. Yes,
It's a
that
gain of
run,
2.
that's enough to move the
That's
chains.
good for a Bears first down.
When
First
done
and
correctly,
10 at
Mike,
the
this is just
40-yard
such a
line.
high percentage call. It's kind of hard to choose another play off your call sheet. It's impossible to defend. You can know it's coming, stack the box, whatever you want to do. But most of the time, they'll just drive forward and pick up the first down.
This one broken up.
Bajan's pass.
It's incomplete. The
Intended
defender
for
right there
Olamide
with him.
Zaccheaus.
It brings up
Incomplete.
2nd down.
Brings up 2nd
And this
and
is really
10
just
at
more of the
40-yard
same
line.
that we saw in the first half. They have made it a huge struggle in the passing game. I mean, just no easy completions, no open space. Every single ball has been contested, and they've done a great job all day.
Going up top. And that is incomplete. But a penalty flag
Personal foul.
is down.
Roughing the passer.
Let's see who
Defense.
they got. First and 10. Bajan now. Oh, a short throw there, but it's going to end up incomplete. That's a pass he say he should have had. Instead, he does not, and it brings up
It's
second down.
2nd down and 10.
It's just a matter of time. I don't care how good you are or how good a hand you have. You are going to drop passes. It is inevitable in the NFL. But it's the guys that don't let one drop pass lead to 2. They have the ability to put it behind them, move forward, and they can't wait for that next ball to be thrown their way.
That's a short throw caught by Komet. And a good job rallying to the football. Holding just a gain of a yard and sets up third down.
Brings up third down.
Really well done
9.
here by the defense, Mike, executing this zone defense, and they've got to be able to pattern read. You're not just going to drop back to a spot and just play like a robot. Based on what the receivers do off the line, the defenders have different rules of where their zones move to. Well, they had that one dialed in right from the jump, and they were able to stop that play really before it got started. They nearly connected on the big play downfield, but he's not quite able to hold on to that ball through the contact. You can chalk that one up as a win defensively.
So it's fourth down, they'll call on the punt team as they'll say no to the long field goal and hope to pin them deep. And this is going to pin them back. It's out of bounds inside the 10. Now it looks like we have an injured Packer player on the field. So as they look at the injured player, we'll take a timeout. First down, it's Love. They'll set up the screen to Wilson. And he's out of bounds up close to the 40-yard line. That's a gain of 21 to open this drive.
That's good for a Packers.
I like the call. Using the screen as a drive starter to pick up a chunk play and get this offense into some rhythm. It's clear this offensive play caller anticipated the rush of the defense, and he was able to use it against them.
Love to throw on 1st and 10. A pass taken in by Watson. After the catch, he gets it forward for a gain of 9.
Brings up 2nd and a yard at the 39-yard line.
Second and a yard. On the ground, Wilson. He will keep the drive moving. Gets the first down. Nice gain of 5.
A gain of 6.
This offense, they're not interested in taking the deep shot here. 2nd and short, the way they're running the ball, pound the rock, reset the downs, and just keep the drive alive.
2 first downs have them up to the 44-yard line. It's 1st and 10. On the bootleg, it's Love. Our first down throw there is incomplete. Now it looks like we have an injured Packer player on the field. As the athletic training staff looks at him, we'll step away for a moment. They'll try again here. 2nd and 10. Out of the shotgun. It's Love. That one intercepted. And he's going to set up his guys with great field position. A huge chance to cut into the deficit.
Mike, it's very simple in the NFL. You're just not going to win a lot of games when you're losing the turnover battle to this degree, and it's their struggles protecting the football. They've continued to hurt them here today, and that's why they find themselves trailing at this point in the game.
The Bears offense makes their way back out to the field for their next possession. They'll begin with great field position, a short field, in fact, as they start with a first down. The tight end, Komet, is on the move. To throw is Bajer. He's got his tight end down the field. That's Komet. A gain there of 23 yards. Good for a Bears first down.
First down.
So every team practices this on both sides of the ball. They call it sudden change. So in this case, the offense takes the field quickly following the defensive takeaway, and now you want to get off to a fast start, generate a quick play, and spark your possession. It's exactly what they're able to do here, picking up that first down.
He'll move it ahead for about 3 yards. Javon Bullard there on the tackle. Now after that last play, we have an injured Bear on the field. The training staff going to look, and will step out for a moment. From the 20, here's 2nd and 6. Now they'll pitch it out here. And that won't get a whole lot. Maybe a yard. That's it.
Taken down at the 19-yard line. It's a gain of a yard. And it's 3rd down.
Third down, they need 5. Throwing Beijing. Oh, and that throw not able to be pulled in. It's incomplete. Looked like he may have got a little ahead of himself there. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
4th down.
And on 3rd down, what they're trying to do, Mike, is just get the ball out of his hands quickly and into the hands of one of his playmakers, but he just doesn't focus through the catch. Lapse of concentration, ends up in a drop, and falls incomplete.
Off the play fake. He'll look to throw. That is incomplete. They couldn't get the connection on 4th. Gonna give the ball over on down. Now after that last play, we have an injured Bear on the field. Athletic training staff looking at him, so we'll step aside. Here for Wilson. And a mark him down up beyond the 30. Now it looks like we have an injured Packer player on the field. And as the medical staff looks him over, we'll step aside. Love to throw it on 1st down. And this will be incomplete, but there's a flag back in the backfield where the quarterback is. They may have got him after he released the ball. On 1st and 10, here's Love. This one, batted away. It's incomplete.
This is something they teach defensive linemen, Mike, that, of course, we want to get to the quarterback and pressure and hit him and ultimately sack him. But if you don't think you're going to get there, when his hand comes off the ball, your hands go up. Get in that throwing lane, get a deflection, and he's able to force the incomplete.
They send the tight end in motion. They'll try to hit him with a screen. Good hustle by the defense. They beat the offensive lineman to the blocks there. No gain on that screen pass.
Brings up 3rd down and 9.
Third down and 9. Here's Love. That one caught. He finds Golden. They get 21 on that one.
It's a gain of 21 yards. That's good.
We spent so much time talking about arm strength, and while that certainly has a place in the conversation, look at the touch of this ball, Mike. It's a deep corner route. This ball needs to have the right pace, the right trajectory to not only get it over the second-level defenders, but get that ball down into the hands of his target. He makes it look a lot easier than it actually is.
Now it looks like we have an injured Packer player on the field. So as they look at the injured player, we'll take a timeout. Second and 10. Putting the tight end in motion. On second down, Love. That's going to be incomplete, and the clock will stop. Likely one more play in this third quarter.
Jalen Johnson on the coverage.
There's a fine line between trusting your arm and having a little bit too much faith in your arm, right? I think this was one of those situations here, Mike, where there was nowhere to go with the ball. He tries to fit that one in there anyway, and he's lucky that it just falls incomplete.
Little short pass here, caught by his tight end, and he's going to be taken down as time runs out on this third quarter of play. Brandon McManus and the field goal unit come on.
Field goal.
This a 44-yard attempt. Now after that last play, we have an injured Bear on the field. That not a welcome development here late in a one-sided game. Agent. That ball flutters to the ground. It's incomplete. Unfortunate there wasn't a defender right there in the area. Could have been a turnover. Instead, it brings up second down.
I think he knew in the back of his head, Mike, he had to get rid of this ball a little sooner than he would have liked. And with that pressure getting there in a hurry, it just ends up being a wasted down.
Back to throw. Agent. He's going to take a shot down the field. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Potentially very big call here. From the 32 now. Here's first and 10. His throw on first down is going to be incomplete.
When you think back earlier, remember, Mike, he threw that pick six in a very similar situation. So this time around, much better decision. Doesn't take any chances. Smart move to just throw that one away.
Back to the air again on second and 10. And that's going to wind up incomplete. Now, after that last play, we have an injured Bear on the field. That not a welcome development here late in a one-sided game. 3rd and 10. Back to throw. This one down the field, but it's lined up incomplete.
Solid rep there for this corner, Mike. I mean, to stay disciplined with his technique throughout the entire play. So often we see when the ball's put in the air, the defender can panic and they either get a pass interference or they misplay the ball. This time he times it perfectly and forces the incompletion.
Now or never, they'll throw on 4th down. Oh, the ball's out. The Packers have it. And now, following the turnover, we have an injured player on the field. That, not a welcome development here late in a one-sided game. They'll run. It's Wilson. And not much there. He's back to the original line. No gain on that one. Now it looks like we have an injured Packer player on the field. That, not a welcome development here late in a one-sided game. Lost one on the last play, so now it's 2nd and 11. From the gun, it's Love. And that ball in and out of his hands. It is incomplete. Might tell you after the game he should have come up with that one. He doesn't, and now 3rd down comes up.
Dropping a catchable ball is one of the worst feelings. It feels like the entire stadium is laughing at you, and all I know is firsthand, you just want to get another opportunity to put that one behind you.
And that is incomplete.
Intended for Christian
I just don't like the
Watson.
look of this passing game, Mike. It just seems a bit erratic. On top of the 2 straight incompletions, they've already turned the ball over through the air. And truthfully, with how dangerous some of these throws have been, they're lucky it hasn't been even more.
On for the field goal, a 35-yard attempt.
Oh, he missed it
The kick
from
is no
short
good.
range. A bad miss. It's no good. And they are not able to add on to their big lead.
There's an old saying in golf, Mike, that when you're on the green, never up, never in. In this case, the ball's on target. It just didn't have enough steam to get there. Winds up no good.
From the 25, they'll go to work. 1st and 10. A run here with Johnson. He'll struggle to get back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe he gets a yard out of that one. It's 2nd down. Now, after that last play, we have an injured Bear on the field. That, not a welcome development here late in a one-sided game. Ball on the 27. Here's 2nd and 9. On play action, he'll set up to throw. And for a 3rd time today, he's intercepted. Picked off by Javon Bullard. And he is going to bring this one back. The DB's dream. A pick 6 for touchdown. The defense is having a day. They extend the lead with Greg, their of the game.
And that's just something you don't see very often in the NFL, Mike. I mean, you might see a handful of games each year where there's one pick six, but to get 2 pick sixes in the same game, this defense is on fire.
McManus lining up for the point after.
He's got it. And the Packers will open it up even further here in this fourth quarter.
18.
The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kicks away. Duvernay on the return. And he's down at the 23, and that's where the offense will take over.
First and 10.
So out comes the Chicago offense. They get set to take over once more. Operating from their own 23, they'll begin first and 10. On the ground, it's Johnson. And he's got this up close to the 35-yard line. Now it looks like we have an injured Packer player on the field. That not a welcome development here late in a one-sided game. From the 34 now, it's first and 10. On the RPO, quick toss to Burton. And he's going to be taken down right at midfield. 2 nice play calls here to kick off the drive. 15 more on that one.
It's really been a one-sided game, but how often do we see in the fourth quarter the team that finds themselves down by a lot, they start to come alive. I think it's a combination of trying to end the game on a positive note, but also sometimes that defense getting a little lackadaisical.
An injured player on the field, that is Micah Parsons, who needs some medical attention. That not a welcome development here late in a one-sided game. To the air once more on second down. Oh, and this one's going to wind up incomplete. That's one you'd think he'd be able to corral. He can't find the handle, and it's going to lead to a third down. Here's Pages. One of his teammates is there to pick it up.
So even though they avoid the turnover, this is still a play that they're going to coach hard off of. They're going to bring guys into the meeting room next week and say, hey, guys, we're not always going to be so fortunate. The ball is not always going to bounce our way. Anybody who handles the ball from the center to the quarterback to any of the ball carriers, the most important aspect of team offense is protecting the ball at all costs.
And for the fourth time today, he has been intercepted. Picked off by Nate Hobbs. And his offense is going to be all set up with a short field and a chance to extend that lead.
It's not often, Mike, that everything breaks right for this type of return off of an interception. But, boy, is it beautiful when it does. I mean, look at the defenders just flip around and become blockers, trying to spring their guy to the house. Great athleticism, some great moves on his part. I mean, he's going to have some of his offensive teammates looking over their shoulder for their position.
Out comes the Green Bay offense now as they get set to take over again. They'll have a short field in front of them as they try to extend this lead out further. Throwing is Love. And that one is incomplete. Penalty flag down back in the backfield in the area of holding. We'll go play action with Love. And he got rid of that one quickly before the receiver even knew what was going on. That's incomplete.
It's now second down and
Well, I think the two of us kind of looked at each other up here in the booth, Mike, like, oh, a little surprised they're still throwing the ball at this stage of the game with the lead. But when you've had as much success through the air that they've had today, I don't think I can blame them for trying to pad the stats a little bit.
Running is Jacobs. And the defense there to meet him. They'll hold him to 2 and bring up third down. Now, after that last play, we have an injured Bear on the field. That not a welcome development here late in a one-sided game. Third and long. Here's Love. For the outside. Catch made by Watson. Now it looks like we have an injured Packer player on the field. That not a welcome development here late in a one-sided game. And now the punting unit will come on.
For the Packers.
And not the greatest of results here. This is going to hit in the field of play and continue out of bounds. The Bears offense ready to get back at it. Here's Johnson. And he'll take this past the 30. A gain of 6. Mark it at the 31. Now, after that last play, we have an injured Bear on the field. That not a welcome development here late in a one-sided game. From the 31, here is second and 4. Bait it now. Oh, and this one's going to wind up incomplete. That's one you'd think he'd be able to corral. He can't find the handle, and it's going to lead to a third down. Now it looks like we have an injured Packer player on the field. That not a welcome development here late in a one-sided game. Here's a third down and 4. Now they'll set up to throw. This one just too far for the receiver. Out in front of him. That one falls incomplete.
You know, there's a rule that's pretty simple when you're running routes against zone coverage, Mike. And it's as simple as if you're open, stay open. Instead, you see the receiver here. He ends up running to a covered window, and it just clouds the vision of the quarterback. Instead of throwing into a wide-open target, he's now forced to throw into a contested area.
That is incomplete. Oh, they elected to throw on 4th and short. It does not work out. They turn it over on down.
It's a turnover.
Packers offense about ready to take over once more. They start with the lead and the football. They do so with tremendous field position. It's 1st and 10. They'll run out of the gun with Jacobs. Not much to speak of on that one. Maybe a gain of a yard. It's 2nd down. Now it looks like we have an injured Packer player on the field. That not a welcome development here late in a one-sided game. Ball on the 30 now. Here's 2nd and 9.
Win the rep, let's go, right here.
Here's Love to throw. And that ball in and out of his hands. It is incomplete. Might tell you after the game he should have come up with that one. He doesn't.
It's
and now 3rd down comes up.
And 9 yards
Well,
to
not
go.
exactly breaking news here, Mike. They got speed on the perimeter that just not a lot of teams in the NFL have. So even though that ball falls incomplete, I think they have to continue to do it. Continue to pressure this defense and make them defend the entire field. Because as they're worried about him running by them, there is a lot of space open underneath.
Intended for Matthew Golden.
Protecting the ball anytime you throw the ball in the middle of the field is
It's
obviously critical, right?
down.
That's where tip passes, that's where all sorts of stuff happens when you put the ball in harm's way. But you also have to protect your receivers. There's a bit of a trust back and forth with the receivers saying, hey, I'm willing to go across the middle and compete for the ball.
47-yard attempt.
But now you're my eyes. You have to protect me and make sure that the location of the ball doesn't run me into a big hit.
Now after that last play, we have an injured Bear on the field. That not a welcome development here late in a one-sided game. Ball rests at the 37. It's 1st and 10. Right away, they'll set up to throw. That's to the right side and incomplete.
Intended
The big tight end, Cole Kmet, the intended receiver.
The coverage
And that will lead to a 2nd down.
I think you just rushed that decision just a little bit downfield. I mean, it's one thing to trust your guy to make a play in tight coverage, but I think if he was a little bit more patient in his progression, there was an easier throw out there that wouldn't make him have to throw such a tight window ball and put his receiver in a tight spot.
And he somehow manages to get back to the line of scrimmage before he's hustled out of bounds.
At the line of scrimmage.
It is 3rd and 10. He'll drop to throw. Oh, they're on him in a flash, and he lost the football.
sloppy with ball security as he leaves the pocket. They're able to knock it loose and put an end to this drive.
The Packers offense headed back to take over once more. They'll start really in field goal territory already, but they're looking for more. Offense got it 1st and 10.
Hey, we're gonna do some center.
Out of the shotgun, it's Love. This one not quite on target. Too much. That one falls. Incomplete.
I could sit up here all day, Mike, and we could talk about the missed throw. But I think a lot of the credit has to go to the pass defense. Not only did they do a good job making it difficult for them to complete the pass, but I think they saved the touchdown along the way.
We'll try again. It's 2nd and 10. They'll run the draw with Jacobs. And a nice run there as he surges forward. A gain of 8 and sets up 3rd down.
That's a gain of 8.
And he has been a handful to deal with throughout this entire contest, Mike. And they came into the game saying, we want to impose our will on the defense. And that's exactly what they've been able to do.
On the run, it's Wilson. And he will have a Packers 1st down by about a yard. They're able to convert on 3rd and 2. Now, after that last play, we have an injured Bear on the field. That not a welcome development here late in a one-sided game. Space getting tight here, down to the 13-yard line. They work 1st and 10. They'll take this forward for a couple. It'll be 2nd down. Now, after that last play, we have an injured Bear on the field. That not a welcome development here late in a one-sided game. Second down, they need 7. Tight end going in motion here.
Be ready, be ready.
A 2nd down throw for Love. Good coverage there in the end zone. That is incomplete. Terrific work. They separated the man from the football. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
That was a perfectly timed hit, and I think it actually saved 6 points, Mike. He got there just as the ball did, and I think it was the contact that separated him from the ball.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Love. That one broken up in the end zone. It's incomplete. What great work just to get those hands up there, and now it's 4th down. Now it looks like we have an injured Packer player on the field. That not a welcome development here late in a one-sided game.
A waste of time.
Brandon McManus and the field goal unit come on.
A 27-yard
about as short as you can get. McManus's kick is good. And the Packers will add to their lead here in the 4th quarter.
18.
It's always a little bit of a letdown, Mike. You find yourself deep in the red zone, and you have to settle for a short field goal like that. In this case, he's able to put it through, and they get 3.
Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. Duvernay on the return. He'll be brought down right around the 25-yard line.
At their
The
own
Bears offense
25-yard
starting to
line.
try out for this next possession. Throwing Bajan. Oh, for the fifth time, he is intercepted. Picked off by Andrew Cooper.
That's about as bad as he can possibly get. Like, we're only one play into the drive. You're trying to establish a little early rhythm, get something going, and now you're jogging off the field watching your opponent celebrate in the end zone. So they're going to have to come back out here on offense pretty quickly, regroup, take a deep breath, and try to bounce back.
Now it's McManus
lining up
for the point
extra
after.
point.
The kick is good. And the Packers will add one more onto their big lead. Now it looks like we have an injured Packer player on the field. That not a welcome development here late in a one-sided game. The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kicks away. This one taken at the 7. He'll get this past the 20 before he's brought down shy of the 25-yard line.
23-yard
The
line.
Bears offense ready to see what they can do with this next possession. Play action. He'll set up to throw. The ball comes out. The Packers have it. And he is going to bring this one back. It is a fumble recovery for a defensive touchdown. And they will score again. This time it's the defense. And Greg, this just adds to what has been a one-sided affair from the start.
Yeah, and on a day where it just seems like nothing has gone their way, this fumble return for a touchdown kind of just adds injury to insult. There's days, Mike, where you just don't have your best and the other team has the upper hand, and I think it's pretty clear today is one of those days.
McManus lining up
for the point
extra
after.
point.
He missed it.
This
It's
kick
no good.
is
One of the
no good.
few things that's gone wrong so far. So they're unable to add one more point onto this big lead. Both teams ready to go once more as the kicks away. This returnable from the 4. He's across the 20, taken down just shy of the 25.
First and 10.
Now it looks like we have an injured Packer player on the field. That not a welcome development here late in a one-sided game. So here's a 1st and 10 now. They'll start from the 24. To throw is Bajan. Oh, a short throw there, but it's going to end up incomplete. That's a pass he'd say he should have had. Instead, he does not, and it brings up second down. Now, after that last play, we have an injured Bear on the field. That, not a welcome development here late in a one-sided game. They'll try again here. 2nd and 10. The tight end, Komet, is on the move. Keenum looking to throw. He'll get that to Zacchaeus. Well, he's brought down. That pass is going to pick up 4 and bring up 3rd down.
It's a gain of 4, and it's 3rd down.
To throw, here's Keenum. This one broken up. It's incomplete. Good job separating the receiver from the ball, and it is 4th down.
And that's exactly how you teach it. They want these defenders to time the hit, that right when the ball gets there, you separate the receiver from the ball. And those are the ones on offense, man. You just have to make that catch, Mike. I know it's easier said than done, but you know the hit's coming. You've got to squeeze that thing, brace for impact, and make that play for your offense.
Jordan Love, the rest of the Packer offense, ready for their next possession. And he has been masterful so far leading this offense, keeping the mistakes to a minimum, on point with his passes, generally one step ahead of the defense all game long. On play action, Love. Looking middle there, but it's incomplete.
I think this defense is wondering where some of these missed throws were earlier in the game. I mean, for a while, it seemed like everything the offense did hit. And after that last incomplete pass, although this game's all but over, this defense will certainly take it.
Throwing on 2nd down, Love. Toward the middle of the field that time, but incomplete.
Just didn't quite get enough into that ball. You see sometimes the pressure, the rush, force a quarterback to throw the ball off his back foot. And I think there was a little bit of that here at play. You have to be willing to step up, even in the face of pressure, and get enough behind that ball to put that one a little bit more on the money.
On 3rd down, they'll set up to throw. That one too far out in front. It is incomplete.
And that's what you call a wasted series. They come out here and they decide we're just going to air it out. 1st, 2nd, 3rd down. All 3 incompletions. And now it brings up 4th down. And barring some crazy decision here to keep your offense on the field, you're going to find yourself right back on the sideline.
The Bears take over 1st
the Bears
and 10.
offense make their way out and take over once more. The drive begins at the 20. Here's 1st and 10. Now, faking the give, he'll send this one deep for Odunze. And that is incomplete. But a penalty flag is down. Let's see who they got.
Let's go, man. Let's go. Do what you do. You gotta get a couple 1st downs now. Come on, now. Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
From the 35, it's 1st and 10. To throw. Bagent. And this This is too far out in front. That one's incomplete. Now, after that last play, we have an injured bear on the field. That, not a welcome development here late in a one-sided game. Agent. And he'll just bite the bullet and throw this one away. That was a good idea. Didn't force anything there. But now it's going to bring up third down. Here's Keenum. This one just too far for the receiver. Out in front of him. One falls incomplete.
Seems like there was some miscommunication that time. They clearly weren't on the same page. That's something that they've got to get on the sideline and get corrected as soon as possible. I think they just missed out on what could have been a big play.
Looks like we have an injured Packer player on the field. That, not a welcome development here late in a one-sided game. And he will not be able to turn upfield. They'll drop him behind the line. Now it looks like we have an injured Packer player on the field. That, not a welcome development here late in a one-sided game. After the loss of 3, it is 2nd and 13. Off the play fake. Here's Love. He finds Jaden Reed for the grab. And they will bring him down on the other side of midfield. It is a big-time play for the Packers. 39 yards.
First down.
How about that for your first catch of the game? I mean, to be able to attack the defense with your very first grab really sets things up nicely for the rest of the game. So defensively, they need to tighten up a little bit on the back end. Because I promise you, that's not going to be the last time they call his number. The speed and the get-off by the big interior defensive tackle, Mike. I mean, he got through there so fast, he almost took the handoff himself.
Work to do now as they come up on 2nd and long. An injured player on the field, and that is Micah Parsons, who needs some medical attention. That, not a welcome development here late in a one-sided game. Here now, 3rd and 5. From the gun, it's Love. And they are in great shape. He's taken down inside the 10. A big
It's a gain
gainer
of
for
31
Green
yards.
Bay.
That's good
31
for
yards.
a Packers first down.
Both pre-snap and post-snap. This is
First
about as
and goal
well
at the
done
8-yard
as you can
line.
do at the quarterback position. Get in and out of the right call, identifying the holes along the back end, and then the throw. You can't put it in a better spot. I mean, that's just a big-time play.
To the 5-yard line. An injured player on the field, and that is Micah Parsons, who needs some medical attention. That, not a welcome development here late in a one-sided game. Ball right on the 5-yard line, second down and goal. On play action, he'll set up to throw, and he'll take it on in. Tucker Crouch, touchdown, Green Bay. We might need a calculator before this one is done. It has been one-sided, and the route rolls on, Greg.
Absolutely, Mike, and they just keep piling on the points. I mean, this offensive play caller, he's saying it's never enough. I'm going to try to score with every possession, and we've seen him do that all game long.
Brandon
Now it's
McManus
McManus
lining up
for
for
the
the
point
extra
after.
point.
And he missed it. That's a rare miss for the veteran. And they are unable to add on the point after. Now it looks like we have an injured Packer player on the field. That, not a welcome development here late in a one-sided game.
Brendan
The
McManus
kickoff
to
team
kick
is out
off
on the
for
field.
Green Bay.
And we're back to it as the kicks away. Duvernay on the return. And he's brought down right
The
at
Bears
the
take over first
25-yard
and
line.
10 at their own
So out comes the
25-yard line.
Chicago offense as they get set to take over once more. They'll start this on the ground with Johnson. And he's going to have a Bears first down as he gets up past the 35. Now it looks like we have an injured Packer player on the field. That, not a welcome development here late in a one-sided game. So, from the 36, it is first and 10. Pages. Now a screen set up for Johnson. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield.
Sean Johnson.
Give him 13 on that screen play.
13
And a
yards on
first
the
down.
play. That's